Hey guys, I'm Grestar, and how about we watch a death battle, Shredder versus Silver Samurai. Of course, make sure to click the link in the description below to go to the official release first, like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, and then come back here and we'll watch it together. So, Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Silver Samurai from Marvel, I assume X-Men in particular, but you know, Marvel Comics, the villains and everything, they kind of go wherever they want to, but I think he started with X-Men. I pointed out, like, last time that I didn't know him at all, and I didn't think I did. But people are like, oh no, he's from that one Wolverine movie, and I vaguely remember that Wolverine movie. In it, I believe Wolverine had he was losing his powers. I honestly don't remember how, and I think that the Silver Samurai dude was like manipulating him, and he had this he created like a mech suit kind of thing. It was weird. Anyway, so that's the only experience I have with Silver Samurai, and again, clearly I don't remember it too well. It was an okay movie, I remember. I watched it by myself, don't have a lot of memories of it, didn't really talk to anyone about it afterwards, so like nothing's cemented, you know? But I guess it was okay. I don't remember it being like an outstanding film. Anyway, but yeah, I don't think that, like from that, I don't think Silver Samurai was shown as being too awesome. Like sure, he was good, but he'd also like really weakened Wolverine. And, you know, through a lot of manipulation and stuff, I think. And so, you know, it wouldn't really apply here in this case. But then like the Shredder, I really only know of the Shredder from the Ninja Turtles movies, like the second to most recent one, and then like the old ones, you know, where they're like in turtle suits and everything. And in those, Shredder was, well, those first two at least, Shredder was terrible. Like, people in the comments pointed out, they're like, oh, but he beat all 4 Ninja Turtles. Yeah, but the Ninja Turtles sucked in that movie. Maybe they weren't supposed to. Maybe it was just because of the limitation of, like, the costumes and everything, but I thought they were awful. Yeah, well, they took on the whole Foot Clan. Yeah, I thought they were awful, too. Like, was I supposed to take those fights super seriously? I don't know, because, like, they would fight the Shredder, they'd just kind of, like, throw themselves at him one at a time, and then he'd be like, bah! And then they're like, ah! And they, like, fly away, you know? And then they like huddle and they're like, we have to attack them all together, that kind of thing or whatever. And then Shredder died in a super stupid manner. Like, Splinter was just standing at the edge of the building and Shredder's all like, roar! And he just charges him, and then Splinter like takes out nunchucks and like and throws Shredder off the edge, lands in the trash vehicle. I'm sure that has a name. I'm dumb. Anyway, and I guess, like, then after that, Casey turned it on, and supposedly Shredder was crushed, but then, of course, he showed up in the next film, which was, like, an hour after that, or not an hour, wow, a year later after that first film, so he was okay, but then even in that one, like, he used the super mutant serum on himself, and he became this big hulking thing, and then he destroyed the pier to try to, like, capture the turtles under it. Pier, doc, I don't know. And then it collapsed on him, too, and he died. So, like, even when he was supposed to have his, like, cool, bad moment, like, he was just bad. And not in the way he had intended. You know, like, I've never seen the Shredder be good at his job, really. So the issue that is, like, I have a negative bias, like, toward both of them, but particularly towards Shredder. Negative in the sense that I don't think they can do that much. Like, I don't think that they're that good at being, like, combative and everything. Which I guess if I don't think either of them are great, that kind of puts them on more of an even playing field. But I don't know anything like about the comics. I don't know how they are in the comics, and that's where their power is really gonna shine. So, the whole point of this RAM, like, it's like I explained what I do know, or what I think I know about them, what I recall from, you know, the few bits of media that I've actually seen them in. But I'm really gonna have to wait for the analysis portions to learn what they're capable of, to learn what they've done, what they can do, etc. So, yes. With that said, let's get to watching. And play.
Before we get to the video, I wanted to let you guys know we're having a huge clearance sale on the website.
What?
Discounts over 50% off on everything you could think of.
Ooh,
Hats,
including
shirts,
the
drinkware.
but not the Death Battle shirt? Is that what I saw?
Description and head over there and check it out.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You can do that if you guys want. I mean, hopefully it's still going on. I know this video was like 3 or 4 days afterward.
Hundreds of years ago, the samurai and the ninja battled across Japan.
Yes.
And these two fascinating ways of combat have been at odds ever since.
The Shredder, the sharp and shiny arch-villain of the Ninja Turtles.
That's right.
And Silver Samurai, the mutant swordsman who can slice through anything.
So was he a mutant too?
And
I don't
it's our
remember.
job to
Again, I don't
analyze their
remember the
weapons,
movie.
armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
I'm gonna say he is a mutant. which makes me think that he's going to win. But again,
Beneath the
Shredder could have cool
streets
comic
of
stuff.
New York City, a secret battle wages between 4 humanoid turtles and a ninja covered in blades known as the Shredder.
Yes.
Kitchen utensil?
Many legends surround the Shredder's origins. Some say he's the reincarnation of an ancient Japanese warrior.
Oh.
Some say he's an alien disguised as a man. And some say he's a bumbling idiot who sounds like Uncle Phil.
But I don't want to conquer this place. I want to conquer Earth.
Did he really
Either
whine
way,
like that?
Every
Wow.
legend agrees on one thing. He's an absolute badass.
He chopped a tree.
Before he was called
Okay.
the Shredder, he was Oroku Saki, a member of the Japanese ninjutsu Foot Clan. He trained alongside his rival, Hamato Yoshi.
They weren't just rivals in martial arts, but in the search for love as well. They both pined for the lovely lady Tang Shen, but unfortunately for our future Shredder, she only had eyes for Yoshi.
Aw.
Hamato Yoshi, not the dinosaur.
Right,
That'd
thank
be
you.
Weird.
Jealous, Oroku Saki attacked Yoshi, but in his rage, accidentally struck down Tang Shen.
Well, maybe you shouldn't jump in front of him
Leaving
like that.
Yoshi
Of
and
course
his
it's gonna
beloved For
happen.
dead, Saki took over the Foot Clan and began a worldwide crime spree under his new name.
Now you face the Shredder.
What?
You know, I wonder, did he mean to name himself after a cheese grater? Speaking of which, if his armor didn't make it obvious enough, Shredder's got a weird spike fetish.
A little
This guy's
bit.
got him all over his legs, arms, shoulders, even his head.
That headpiece, the Kuro Kabuto, is a relic passed down through the Foot Clan for over 1,500 years.
Oh.
Forged from the totems of the clan's defeated enemies, it was formed into an alloy that's stronger than steel. Plus, it just looks awesome.
Okay.
Obviously, his armor is also a kick-ass weapon, and he can cut anyone down with the Tekko Kage claws on his wrists.
Which literally translates to back of the hand hooks.
Oh,
Perfect
okay.
for backhanding. It doesn't cover all that much, but he needs freedom of movement because, you know, he's a ninja.
Right,
Plus,
fair.
would you want to get anywhere near a guy covered in razors?
No.
I don't think so.
Ninjutsu is comprised of 18
That's
separate
too much to read.
disciplines, and Shredder is a master of all of them.
Okay.
This includes stealth, espionage, pyrotechnics, horsemanship, and plenty of weaponry.
Yeah, like swords, spears, bow staves, and throwing weapons. But it's not like he needs them anyway. He's skilled in unarmed combat, too.
Now a master of his craft, the Shredder led the Foot Clan to New York City.
Where he found out Hamato Yoshi wasn't quite as dead as he thought.
As a matter of fact, Yoshi had transformed into a rat person and was raising 4 adolescent genetically altered shinobi terrapins. But that's another story altogether.
Yeah, that's
With
not what
his
I'm used to.
hatred reinvigorated, the Shredder swore to end his lifelong enemy.
I'm used to him
once
being the
and
pet
for all.
of Yoshi.
Every time Shredder fought these Ninja Turtles, he proved why he's the leader of the Foot Clan. I mean, he's strong enough to tear through steel shipping containers with his claws, chop down trees in one sword swing, and throw around mutants several times his size like they're nothing.
One such mutant, Leatherhead, weighs well over 300 pounds.
Oh.
Alright, I know that's the official weight according to some toy, but look at him! Compared to the Turtles, he should weigh half a ton.
Either way, the
Reasonable.
Shredder survived Leatherhead chomping down on his midsection. The femur, the strongest bone in the human body, breaks at a pressure of about 1,700 pounds per square inch. A normal, unmutated American alligator can bite with a force of nearly 3,000 psi. And Leatherhead's bite is surely stronger.
Meaning Shredder should have split in half. But nope, he was back up kicking some leather butt literally 5 seconds
Fair
later.
enough.
The Shredder is a cunning strategist and talented warrior. He's fought 8 mutants in combat all at once, disarming every single one of them. What's more, while intimidating an Italian mob boss and his bodyguards, he did this. The most well-trained human eyes are capable of detecting movements occurring in 1/220th of a second.
Okay.
Meaning Shredder's slash could have been even faster than that.
But sometimes
Too much to think
Rex
about.
needs just a bit more juice to get the job done. Literally, when you see him crack open a green one, he's not doing it to hang out with the boys.
What?
In times of desperation, Shredder is known to resort to risking it all by consuming mutagen.
Transforming him into Super Shredder.
Yeah, but see, he just like tore it all down.
It's a super shredder!
While this
Let's
form
not even
has
talk
given
about
him
how it
different
boosted his
enhancements in
armor.
different iterations, it usually grants him immense strength, inhuman durability, and even teleportation and the power to shoot lightning.
You know, that's
All right.
probably because mutagen's not an exact science and it's bound to get random at times.
Yeah.
That's true, Boomstick.
I did a science.
Yay.
Well, he's toughed out a sword shattering against his skin and even falling around 1,000 feet onto a steel beam. Man, you'd think this guy would never lose anything, ever.
What?
But you'd also be super wrong.
Shredder has his fair share of downsides. This includes a weakness to garbage trucks,
Yep.
newborn infants,
They're babies!
the
I
power
like
of music,
that part.
a strange fascination with eating his enemies,
Tonight I dine on turtle soup.
and wood.
Poor guy.
Jeez, were the 90s always this stupid?
Yeah. Thankfully, despite his failures, the Shredder keeps getting back up, faster, stronger, and much more terrifying.
The true battle starts now!
I guess now time for Silver Samurai. All right.
In feudal Japan, a samurai wasn't your typical bodyguard. He was trained in the art of war and would only serve the elite upper class. Honor was the samurai's currency.
But for the Silver Samurai, Kenoichiro Harada, currency was just regular money, because that shit's useful.
Born into the Yakuza
So he's just a
clan,
mercenary.
Harada was the son of a powerful Yakuza crime lord. Unfortunately, he could never inherit his father's empire for himself, because he was born illegitimately. A bastard.
Wow, wait, no need to throw insults around, Wiz.
No, the literal definition of
Yes.
Move on.
Wiz's judgment aside, without a clear future, Harada decided to, well, become a samurai, because why not?
Yeah.
They're pretty cool, right?
Always a good path.
Unfortunately, the way of the samurai no longer had a place in the present. Harada knew that in a world full of absurd superpowers, he would need to dedicate his life to the art in a way never seen before.
He wouldn't just be a samurai, he'd be a Silver Samurai.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, blinged out like Exhibit's rims, he picked up on a few fighting styles. Not too many, just Bajutsu, the art of horseback, Bujutsu, military strategy, Eijutsu, the sword-based quick draw, Tanto Jutsu, knife fighting,
Yes.
Ninjutsu, being sneaky,
Cool.
Jujutsu, which is archery, and, well, Jujutsu and Karate Do, which are both forms of unarmed combat.
Okay.
God, how many more Jutsus do you think he can fit in his brain? I didn't even know there were that many.
Well,
At least
what about
one
Shredder?
more.
Didn't he learn
Kenjutsu,
more?
The art of Japanese sword fighting. After all, what's a samurai without a katana at his side?
Dead. That's what. In order to keep living, he had to get really good with swinging that sword.
Luckily for Harada, he soon learned he had one of those absurd superpowers for himself.
Yep, he's a mutant.
Now who's being insensitive?
What could he do though?
Harada has the ability to generate a tachyon field. With it, he can enhance his sword, allowing it to slice through almost anything.
I see.
Even ghosts!
In real life, tachyonic
What?
fields are
Okay.
hypothetical particles with mass, which travel faster than light.
Ah.
A definition which may explain how Harada's cutting ability works.
So he uses his power on sharp objects. Well, that's too bad for everybody in Silver Samurai's way, because he carries a lot of them. He's got throwing knives and shuriken ninja stars on hand for long-range attacks. And of course, he always carries that katana.
He's wielded many different swords, including the legendary Muramasa blade.
Mm-hmm.
However, he's not too picky about what kind of sword he carries.
With his power, any blade Harada carries instantly becomes one of the most dangerous swords on the planet.
Harada
Good to know.
has one more trick up his sleeve, a teleportation ring. With it, he can warp around the battlefield for unexpected strikes, and it makes for a good getaway.
Though he almost lost it once to John Belushi. You know, the guy from Saturday Night Live? Jocelyn told me about it once. It was weird.
After years of hard work, Harada was truly a masterful warrior. However, he still struggled to defeat one opponent, the Wolverine.
Who killed his dad and got engaged to his sister. Ah, the shame combo. Oh, and she was next in line to rule the Yashida clan. Man, a triple.
Dang.
Needless to say, a little miffed, Harada challenged his own sister for the right to run the clan. And he won! After she was poisoned by an unrelated third party.
Ah.
Sometimes life just works out, Wiz.
I guess a win's a win, and that wouldn't be his last one. He's incredibly deadly in battle. He's so fast he deflects bullets with his sword, and once even sliced a speeding bullet completely in half. In this instance, the gunman was standing 15 feet away when he fired the bullet at approximately 1,400 feet per second. This means that Silver Samurai was able to reach for his sword and accurately cleave the bullet in two in just over 1/100th of a second.
Even if he didn't chop it in half, his armor is totally bulletproof. Shoot, it even let him survive a friggin' building falling on top of him. But without his armor, he survived taking a sword straight through the lung and getting run over by a car from the f***ing Jetsons.
Okay.
He's no slouch on the battlefield either. He's knocked Spider-Man unconscious, shaken off hits from Cannonball, and even defeated Spider-Woman in combat. At one point, he was dogpiled by Daredevil, She-Devil, along with a cheetah and a panther, together likely weighing over 600 pounds in total. And he threw them all off in one big push.
And he's always fighting with his #1 rival, Wolverine.
Speaking of which, while some may boast that Harada is the greatest swordsman in the world, Wolverine's frequently proven to be his better.
Yeah, he may be good with his blade, but his battle strategy isn't quite as sharp. Also, his
Poor guy.
bulletproof armor doesn't cover everything, as seen here.
Well, even that was merciful compared to what happened when he went up against the 4 Black Samurai. Although Harada defeated them all against impossible odds, he ultimately succumbed to his wounds.
Oh.
And when he arrived in Hell, Harada met the devil, who promptly killed him again by cutting off his head and smashing his corpse into mush with a soul-destroying sword the size of a school bus.
Okay.
Damn! Never let it be said the Silver Samurai isn't hardcore.
But he got up from that, or
Harada,
confused?
yield. The Silver Samurai yields to no man.
Okay.
All
Crap.
right, the
I'm
combatants
not
are
entirely
set.
sure.
Let's end this debate once and for all.
But first, all
Okay,
this
commercial
talk of
first.
slicing and dicing has got me thinking about a Blue Apron
But
meal.
then we will talk about what I think.
Grandpappy
Try to gather my thoughts in the
always
meantime.
said that nothing in life is better than
'Cause I'm
good
not
food
sure yet.
and making something with your own 2 hands. And Blue Apron is both those things combined.
Blue Apron is the #1 fresh ingredient and recipe.
So of course I do
delivery
better when I'm
service
like
in the
talking
country.
about it out
All
loud.
ingredients arrive
You know,
right to
can
your
actually
door,
like hear
guaranteed
both
fresh and ready to
sides.
cook.
It's better than eating fast food, plus it's affordable. Blue Apron is less than $10 per person per meal.
Choose from a variety of recipes and get the meals that sound good to you. The ingredients are perfectly proportioned and the instructions are easy to follow. I mean, even Boomstick can do it.
Hey, watch it or you're not getting any of the next meal I make when it arrives. Like the miso butter salmon and lo mein noodles with cucumber and charmed tomatoes.
And if you're worried about variety, don't bother. Recipes are not repeated within the year, so you'll never get bored. Check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals free with
How's
free
everyone
shipping
doing?
by going to blueapron.com/battle.
Cool.
You'll love how good it feels
Cool.
and tastes to create incredible home-cooked meals with Blue Apron. So don't wait.
That's blueapron.com.
Are you ready? Here we go. Here we go.
Blue Apron, a better way to cook. But right
There we
now,
go. It's time for our death battle. And pause. Let's predict now. Okay, so I think the Silver Samurai is going to win. And one of the main reasons I think he's going to win is because like he seems to have a lot of Shredder's like pluses, a lot of Shredder's good side constantly. Like when Shredder goes Super Shredder after using the mutagen and everything, he gets like superhuman durability and superhuman like strength, and he can teleport a little bit and stuff like that, you know? And Silver Samurai can just do that. Like he just is like naturally super strong, I believe, and naturally super durable, and can naturally or I guess not naturally, but with his ring, you know? I am not sure what kind of armor Silver Samurai like what his armor is made of. Is it just steel? I feel like it wouldn't just be steel in the Marvel Universe. When you're going up against people like Wolverine, I feel like you would upgrade your armor a little bit. But if it's just steel, then Shredder could potentially tear through that. And Shredder does have a lot of speed, as we saw they're like dealing with the mob boss or whatever. And the speed is one thing that I think is in Shredder's favor, because I'm not sure that Silver Samurai was shown to have anything that could really match that. He had reaction time, but I don't know if that's entirely the same. And it's not even necessarily reaction time, because if he knows that a bullet is going to be shot at him, it's not necessarily like, you know, as soon as I hear the gunshot or as soon as I see them pull the trigger, like, can I pull my sword out in time and slice it? It's a matter of prediction a lot of times. And so that doesn't even necessarily mean that he would be fast enough, but like, he has the tachyon thing, which he can activate at any time, even like from a distance. And so if he could use that on his sword, his katana, of course, he could use that on his throwing knives or shuriken or whatever else he has. If he happens to get a weapon from the Shredder, because Shredder has many blades on him, you know, he could use those against him, you know, activate Tachyon, throw it in, whatever. So I think that, I mean, like, they talk about Shredder's helmet being, like, super powerful metal, you know, a super powerful alloy, there we go, alloy. But with the Tachyon, he could cut through, Silver Samurai could cut through, like, anything, and so he would be able to cut through that and just, like, decapitate him or whatever. So, beyond that, I don't know, I mean, with Shredder, you could say, like, he survived a lot of things, like the trash compactor kind of thing, the pier falling on him, a number of other stuff, but, like, I don't know if we're gonna consider all those necessarily canon him surviving feats. And I don't think that the turtle, like in the Turtles, the comics must try to in the comics, the Turtles must actually try to kill him, right? They're not as like child friendly as they were in the movies that I'm familiar with, because they weren't really trying to kill him. They're just like, hey man, stop it, we're trying to have fun and eat pizza, you know? But then Silver Samurai, like, he apparently survived a lot, and then when he died, did he survive the whole, like, devil, like, head cutting off devil? Why even include that in the comics, let alone death battle, if he didn't survive it? Like, he must have come back afterward, right? I don't know, but that's not even like a feat. That's him like, look, he experienced a lot of pain and was dead. I don't know what that really means unless he survived those major things, but how do you really survive being decapitated unless you have an insane regenerative ability? I don't know. It seemed like Shredder knew more because he mastered, like, ninjutsu, right? And so that was like a whole list. And then they listed off a lot of stuff for Silver Samurai, but it didn't seem like it was the entire thing, like with the Shredder. But if, you know, if Silver Samurai is just naturally more capable, like, sure, different fighting styles are good, but you have to be able to apply, I mean, he could apply them, but you have to, you won't be able to use everything in every circumstance, you know? Like, the fact that I can do this doesn't necessarily help me in this situation. Now, in fighting, I guess that's a little, you know, you're more likely to be able to use kind of everything that you have. But are either of them really good strategists? Oh, son of a gun! I feel like they said the Shredder was a better strategist. The issue is that I've seen him lose so many times to such, like, stupid things. It's like, oh no, the Turtles, they're all gonna turn around and bash me with their shells at once? I can't talk today. Oh no. Come on, Shredder, like, if you're good, then actually be good. But then, again, like, then I would think that the Silver Samurai has fought more varied opponents, which would make me think that he has more experience because he's dealing with the Marvel Universe, which has, like, a whole assortment of different heroes, whereas the Turtles, like, he's fought the Turtles, but they, like, they don't have different powers, they just have different weapons and slightly different fighting styles, you know? And then it says he's fought other mutants, but mutants that do what? Does that just mean mutated animals like the Turtles? You know, that's not dealing with an assortment of powers, whereas Silver Samurai surely has experience fighting multiple different people with powers, including people with great fighting capabilities like Wolverine. Granted, it seems he mostly lost against Wolverine, but I keep going back and forth. Because to me, it's one of those things where it seems like, based upon what I've seen, based upon the feats and everything, the Silver Samurai is better. But then based upon just information that was given, Shredder was better, you know? So what do I trust? Like, hearsay? Or friggin' what I've seen them do? It seems like Silver Samurai was able to do more and would be able to pull through here. Screw it, I've taken way too long. Silver Samurai is going to win. And play. Please win. I wouldn't like that. You know, just practicing. Hi. I guess that's one way to do it.
You are no match for the Shredder.
Why were you laughing before you ever stepped out and saw him? You didn't see that happen. Were you hunting him specifically? What's your deal, Shredder? Oh, there's his Tachyon stuff. Or not? I don't know what that was exactly. That seems like a dumb way to use your sword. Because why not? That's not excessive at all. Like, the way the fight's going, animation-wise, it seems like Shredder is going to win, because it seems like Silver Samurai is using all of his stuff already. I'm not changing my answer. I'm not that kind of person. I'll stick with it. I'm just saying, based on the animation and the patterns that happen, that's what it seems like. Shredder hasn't even gotten Super Shredder yet. It's not the end. Don't be cocky. Uh-oh. Look at that face. Really though, how does Super Serum change your armor? Did he just deflect lightning? Alright. That's the thing he did. Ow! Also, ow. Very much pain. Alright.
You know, I bet Shredder would go far if he took up darts.
Both Shredder and Silver Samurai were incredibly tough, capable of withstanding tremendous amounts of pain. Harada's armor may have been tougher, but it had plenty of exposed weak points which a fighter as precise as Shredder could exploit.
Silver Samurai could throw around 600 pounds of people and cats, which is technically stronger than anything Shredder's done. But Shredhead's handled equally mighty mutants plenty of times, like Leatherhead.
While the Silver Samurai's teleportation ring did make him
But that's
harder
only
to
like
track,
brute force.
he's always preferred to use it as a means of escaping a battle, not really engaging in one. Even when he did use it during combat, his moves were often predicted by more experienced opponents.
This guy likes to come at me from behind. Just trying out one of your tricks,
Oh man, that's like right before the clip we actually saw.
In history, it's reasonable to believe he could do the same.
Still, with Harada's Tachyon Blade and Shredder's Ninja Precision, they only needed to land one fatal hit to finish the fight. So the real question was, who could land the killing blow first?
Silver Samurai's best speed feat, slicing an incoming bullet, clocked in at 1/100th of a second. Shredder's faster than eyesight feat measured at 4 thousandths, making him over 2 times faster than Harada. To be blunt, Shredder's fastest known attack was quicker than Harada's fastest known defense, proving that Shredder could deal a killing blow first.
Also, Silver Samurai, that was more,
just turn
again,
into
not just
Super
reactionary,
Shredder and
but
beat the shit
prediction
out of him.
too.
I mean, Super Shredder can lift and throw a giant oil tanker like it's a beach ball at a rave.
That's probably heavier than 600 pounds of people and cats.
Looks like Shredder was too much for Silver to tacky on.
The winner
I get
is
it.
the Shredder.
Alright, claps for the Shredder.
Stick around, we're about to announce the combatants for the next
I'm
Death
sticking
Battle. If you
around.
want to watch exclusive commentary on this episode, click that little box over there and start a first membership trial.
Next time. Oh, alright. Wait, what?
Not even you can prevent this.
Guys, I'm confused. What was that next time? Like Smokey the Bear, the like forest fires, and then only you can prevent, and then the crime dog? Was that it? Why were they showing like Dragon Ball Z characters or whatever? I mean, they weren't just showing Dragon Ball. Wait, were they just showing Dragon Ball Z characters? I don't think that. I feel like they weren't just showing. I am very confused as to what the next time is. Like, I'm not excited about it. Like, it might be funny. I assume that it's a joke one, much like Chuck Norris versus Sega Sanshiro, you know? Because, like, how could you take this one seriously if it is what I can only assume it is? I don't know. Anyways, let's talk about this death battle. I was at least right about how the animation was proceeding. It did follow the pattern of like, well, this person's extending all their stuff, they're chasing the other person, they're showing off all their feats, and yeah, they like expend their feats too quickly, and then the other dude just like takes advantage of it. I think that I misheard a little bit in the conclusion. It sounded like they were saying that like Shredder with the Tachyon sword pierced Silver Samurai, but I'm pretty sure Silver Samurai can only like, he is the one who like charges the sword. It's not he charges the sword and then like there it's a Tachyon sword now. Like he has to be in possession of it, right? In the same way he can do it with like any blade or whatever. So I probably just misheard that. But either way, like Shredder wouldn't have needed to use the Tachyon blade because if he can like really throw something that fast and that, you know, that heavily, throw something heavily? Strong, you know what I mean. Yeah, that would be enough to puncture an opening. I really do think that, like, again, I'm only used to seeing Shredder in those two old movies, you know? And he's so dumb in those. Well, even in this new one, like, Out of the Shadows or whatever it's called, or was that the second one? You know what I mean, though, the Michael Bay movie. Shredder's so dumb. He's just awful. Like, he's really bad. And so, so it's so weird, like, to think of him as good. I'm not trying to like justify myself in that way, but I do still think that I was probably pretty biased because I'm just picturing him as a goofball, you know? Like he's a villain that you laugh at. Whereas Silver Samurai, I guess from those cartoons he probably was too, but he at least seemed like he was supposed to be better. Though I do agree with the feat that, again, Shredder was faster than Silver Samurai because Shredder's actually was like, see that meatball? Look, it's cut in half. You didn't even see me move, did you? Whereas Silver Samurai was like, oh, you're gonna shoot at me? Well, I can predict when you're gonna do that. Like, he could just have swung ahead of time and cut the bullet. Like, it's still an impressive feat, of course, but it's not the same as saying, like, he waited until it was fired and then, like, sliced it. It's different. Reaction versus, like, prediction. It's different. There are other factors in play there. I don't think they talked about this, but I do still think too that Shredder had more combat like knowledge than Silver Samurai. I guess one thing that I need to stop doing is stop comparing the worlds as much. I need to focus just more, I guess, on the characters, because one of the big things that I was giving Silver Samurai was I thought that he had more experience with a variety of different opponents. Given that he's from the Marvel Universe, and so he encounters like a bunch of mutants, a bunch of just super powered people, etc., etc. And I had assumed that he had fought a number of them and fared pretty well, you know, to the point at least of being able to survive the encounter. But I guess since we weren't explicitly told anything like that, I shouldn't have assumed. It was kind of like in Renamon versus Lucario, I did the same thing where I thought, okay, well, Renamon has to go, like, lives in a world where there are Digimon much more powerful than, like, anything Lucario has to deal with. And so I was thinking that Renamon probably had more experience against tougher opponents, and since that Renamon, like, is alive, there you go. It's the same flawed logic. And so I just need to catch myself whenever I'm, like, employing that logic and slap my wrist, you know? I need to cut it out and just Swords Samurai. Cut it out and just start focusing on, again, what's actually presented, what the characters are actually said to have done. Because, you know, I did think about the, like, 600 pounds or whatever with Daredevil and all them compared to the giant alligator thing, but I just didn't. Yeah, so, oh well. This is me trying to learn and grow from my mistakes, so there we have it. Again, I don't have anything to say about the next one, that's just weird. So to talk about this animation, it unfortunately, like, Death Battles in particular, the animations, you know, they do tend to follow a pattern, and if you can get that down, then, like, mid-fight, you can often predict the winner correctly. Because like I said with this one, you know, Silver Samurai was using all of his stuff and seemed to have Shredder kind of backed up into a corner, you know, figuratively speaking. But he didn't, you know, Shredder was still able to pop his big thing and then win, whereas Silver Samurai, yeah, he just had nothing more at his disposal at that point. Like, I don't think we saw him use ranged weapons in the case of, like, throwing knives or anything like that, but it wouldn't have really mattered. Like, you could have shown it in the animation, sure, but why bother? And Yeah, I mean, for what it was, though, the animation was good. It was a good 2D animation. It had a lot of good movement. Like, I think a lot of the movements were silly, but I feel like that's more on the character's part and the sprites that they had to work with. I don't think that was so much the animator. Like, Silver Samurai running towards someone like this, like, I feel like that's bad sword technique, you know? Like, here I can see, like, out here, like he was doing, like, that was, I'm pretty sure he was doing that. That was dumb. You don't do that. That just leaves you all sorts of open. So, I mean, the animation, it showed a decent amount of their feats and whatnot. Callbacks to, like, the original media and stuff. Callbacks are good, you know, like, straight up copying the original media, not so good, but callbacks are nice. I don't really have anything else to say. I don't think it was an outstanding animation, but I thought it was pretty good. I found the last one more entertaining, I believe. So, yeah. I don't think there's anything else really to say. Oh, and then, you know, just the pre-battle stuff. The Blue Apron commercial was meh as always. It's a Blue Apron commercial. It's a commercial. What do you expect? There you go. And the analyses portions, like, they were also fine. Nothing super hilarious. And then really, I should have been able to guess that Shredder was going to win. But, you know, I think just my subconscious was a little stubborn. I'm gonna blame that. It's still my fault, but it's inner me. I'm gonna blame inner me. Okay. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this death battle. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below, whether you liked it, whether you disliked it, what you thought about this or that, etc., so on and so forth. And let me know what you think about the next one. Like, what even is that? How? It's not even near April. Like, I would genuinely think like, oh, it's an April Fool's one, but it's nowhere near April. So, April. TMNT, ha, unintentional. Anyway, yeah, if you want to let me know what you think about that one, go ahead. And if you have an explanation for all the Dragon Ball Z characters showing up, let me know. Is that like the voice actor for someone in like Dragon Ball Z Abridged? That's the best I can come up with. But I swear they also showed characters who weren't from Dragon Ball Z. I just don't know. It confused me very much to see all of that. At first I was thinking like it was going to be a battle royale of Dragon Ball Z characters, or anime in general. I don't know. But then it was like, what's Scruff and Smokey? What? Yeah, I think it's like, it says like Smokey versus McGruff, right? But Scruff McGruff, isn't that his name? I think so. Anyway, rambled enough. With that, we're calling it here. Cue outro, go!